Okay, he's rolling.
Beauty.
Rolling there, rolling here.
Rolling everywhere.
Okay.
Welcome.
And go.
And go now.
And go. I said and go and we weren't rolling. Now we're rolling.
Look weekly.
Okay. We have a lot of things to talk about. I have glasses.
Yeah, I like them.
I am when we were at our awards thing, remember when I had to get up and read? I was like, I got it. And so those were like some dollar store readers that I had been traveling with for about 6 months, but these are actual, I got real, just for my own big boy.
So farsighted?
Well, like in fairness, I actually have a prescription for, what's it called when you got duo?
You have both?
Like, you know, when someone is like progressives.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I need readers that are plus 1.5 for each eye. But then I've got something going on where I don't have to have a progressive lens. The doc was like, you don't need it. You can live without it. It's not getting worse. But, you know, if you can get used to it, you'll appreciate it. So I got those. Spent like a week with them. Hell no. Weird. Not a chance. It was, I felt like I was getting sick walking around.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Now, it could be because I didn't buy the most expensive glass. Like, I did this through an online thing. I didn't go and buy $1,000 glasses.
Sure.
So maybe it's on me. But in any event, these now are just the readers. So like basically this distance and in, I need them. And I do need them. Like if I'm on a computer like the difference between this and this is
massive.
But I lived without it for a while. I can't believe it. The world just got clear on me. Like
you're what, plus 1.5?
Plus 1.5, which is not
minus 6.5 in both eyes.
So minus is just the opposite.
I'm nearsighted. I can't see stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So like I don't have, like my eyes are great by many standards, but
it just happens as you get older anyway.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, so I'm still fidgeting and I'm like taking them on and off. Well, when I like all of a sudden someone walks into the room and you know, whatever.
Just look smart.
Yeah. And I kind of like the color.
They are nice.
Yeah. It was like Calvin Kleinish or whatever. Or no, Ralph Lauren. That's it.
Is that what they are?
I don't know. No, they're not Ralph. No, they're just cheap, but they kind of looked like, I don't know. They reminded me of like the things I wanted to have in high school. So that's why I got them.
Sweet.
We got some things to talk about today. So, we've got some Docem stuff to touch on. We've got some regular Monday meetings coming up, which we're going to announce and chat a little bit about here. We've got the tea/gossip of the day, which we're definitely going to talk about because it's relevant to us and hits a little close to our old home. It does, yeah. Real broker buying Remax, the entire Remax network.
Yep.
Remax Internet. Well, yeah.
Nuts.
Remax International. So we're going to talk about that too. But let's start with, I guess just you can talk more about Docem, but I'll maybe make a statement about Docem and the technology change and where we're at and how it's going and wins. And we've had some struggles. So I think overall, what we're seeing is like a large majority of people have now picked it up, working effectively with it. Dare I say, even love the product. I know that change is hard and, you know, there's been some grumbling about having to make a change and some frustrations, but the vast majority of our agents are in the product, working with it, and it's smooth and people do love it.
Yep.
What we've noticed is that there's the people that are struggling with it the most right now are people that didn't take the training, maybe aren't comfortable with, didn't do the online video learning stuff. And now they're having to learn in the heat of the moment when there's an offer flying or they need to take a listing. And that's caused some frustration. And we've got some plans and comments to that.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, it's been really good. Change is always hard. So we are now 4 months in, and I would say the majority of our agents are doing quite well in it and learning the system. There is the struggle that some people are trying to learn it when they're under the gun, and that is always the hardest way to learn something. So our plan going forward is we have a meeting next week. We're going to be doing a big meeting with assistants and then taking that to agents. So we're going to be doing more in-person
in offices,
different offices. So instead of us just going between Abbotsford and Surrey, we're going to go out to the Mission office, to the North Star office. Like we're going to try and move around a bit. And we've got some help now, thankfully, to help with that training. So that'll give people some in-person training. But I think the majority of The struggles have just been in learning a new system for marking up and signing. The e-sign platform is new. And it's different. It's a different way of doing it than agents are used to. The nice thing is you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but the beauty is it's covered. It's paid for by the brokerage, and it does work. It works really well. It's just a different way of doing it. It's getting used to it.
I have every deal I've done since January. That's not true. The very first one in January, I used the old system, but ever since then, everything I've done, all signing, everything has been in Docem. And, I had to learn it like everybody else at first, and I still am not perfect in it. Figuring it out as we go. But the e-sign component, which is kind of interesting. I think back to when we investigated this program. The e-sign component was like this added thing that that wasn't the reason we got it. It was like, it was a bonus, and you don't even have to use it. You can continue to use your own DocuSign or DocuSign if you want. But of course, it makes a lot of sense just to figure it out and operate only within the system for obvious reasons. But it operates differently. And specifically, the marking up is in a different location. You mark up, then you add your signatures and your initials, which is a different way to function.
Yep.
But
we've used like I've had talk with agents too. We've been in AuthentiSign and DocuSign for 15, 20 years. So people have just gotten used to the way that it works. And I can appreciate that. And again, that's the beauty of it, is you can still continue to use that. But there are huge efficiencies that an agent can see in Docem. It's just, it's just change, doing it a little bit different. You keep talking.
Uh-oh, what are we doing? Did we do something wrong? What are we doing?
I'm seeing peaking. It's freaking me out.
Oh, okay. No. We're good. We got good audio. Okay, well, we'll leave it at that. We have more in-person training coming available in the next, over the course of the
towards the middle of May.
Yeah. And so for those that are still struggling with some things, that will be available. We're working as hard as we can to, we can only stretch you so thin. And Christy,
our staff have been awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you can reach out to our staff. They've been super, super good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying as much as I can, but we thankfully have amazing people here. So we have a lot of people that can answer questions when people get stuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mondays.
Yeah. Mondays.
Okay. So this is, as we've worked through as I've worked through in my brain, or in our collective brains, about what do we need right now in terms of training and help in this market. My thought and response to that, after some consultation with people, is not so much big topical training sessions, more like smaller, regular, accessible, shorter touch points to touch on topics at hand, like things that we're dealing, like right now, the market is challenging, sales are challenging, dealing with clients and customers is challenging. And so in light of all that, the additional training that we have planned for the remainder of this spring, as we, get through spring into summer, is, we'll call it, in my head, I don't know if we'll call it this, maybe we will, but Win the Week Mondays. And it's born out of, an idea that I encountered about someone talking about, how do you win your year? Well, you win your year by winning more months than you lose. And you win your months by winning more weeks than you lose in the month. And that goes all the way down. You can take it all the way down to hours and minutes, right? Sure. And so the idea is going to be Monday mornings, not first thing in the morning. So my inclination was to go, first thing in the morning, that's how we start. But I realized, everyone has obligations at the beginning of the week. It's always like, I got to get the kids off here, do this, do that, or whatever. So the idea is get settled probably like mid to late morning, and we'll, put an announcement out starting for next Monday.
Yep.
But it'll be every Monday from now through the end of the Father's Day weekend. The end of June will be the end of it. And then, we might pick it up again, but we'll take a little break for the beginning of summer. And it's short. So, whether we start at 10 or 11 a.m. to be determined, we're talking like 25, 30 minutes tops. And the idea is that, so I'm going to run it. It's going to be via Zoom. So everybody can access it very, very easily from wherever you are. I will bring a nugget each Monday, something that's topical, that's relevant for, things we're dealing with in the marketplace. But then the idea will be beyond that nugget that I bring, it'll be a time where we can be together and learn from one another, bring topics of discussion that need to be discussed. And, ideally in each week leading up to it, if people say, hey, I want to talk about this or I want to talk about that, then, we'll be ready for that. And we might just dialogue amongst ourselves and use 25, 30 minutes on Monday morning to make sure that we're set and geared to win the week each and every week.
Is it more interactive or is it just listening or what's your
It's
goal?
totally interactive.
Sweet.
But it's fast. Like it's not,
Yeah.
This isn't an hour and a half commitment to a training session.
Mm-hmm.
This is not don't think of this as like a PDP point thing.
No.
We're not, it's the idea is that you get your week started right, focused with the right group of people, and you come away with a nugget or two, something of value, something that has got you moving in the right direction and giving you momentum to start your week.
Cool.
And we will hit on things like, pricing homes or utilizing this technology or this AI platform, whatever. Like we'll hit on all of that. I think that's relevant, but it's designed to, it's habit focused, and it's what am I doing this week to drive the right activity so that I can win the week.
Perfect.
That's the idea.
Nice.
So that's starting this coming Monday, and I'll firm up. I'm just in my brain. I was thinking through the time to start, so that'll go out in the announcement, but it'll be something like mid to late morning.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll have something out this next few days.
ASAP. Yep. Starting next Monday.
Sweet. That'll be fun. Good. Every Monday? Are there any holidays in there? Or you just roll?
There will be, I didn't look at the calendar, but there will be May. I don't know. When's May long weekend? Please don't tell me it's next weekend.
16, 17, 18.
Yeah. So there's going to be a couple Mondays, and on the May long weekend, I'm assuming the Monday's the holiday, or is the Friday the holiday?
No, the Monday's the holiday.
So we obviously won't be on the Monday. Maybe we'll make an announcement. Maybe we'll do it Tuesday that week or something like that, but we'll figure it out. And then outside of that, there shouldn't be any other holiday Mondays. So it'll be probably like 9 weeks, maybe 10 weeks, something awesome. Like that.
Good.
Yeah. There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. I'll let you start on the next one.
What, Real and Remax?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Why?
I guess
I've been talking, so you talk.
I'm a bit surprised to see it happen, but I have more questions for you, I think, than me.
Why are you surprised?
I was I think I told you I'm a bit disillusioned towards what Remax was. It was always sort of like the big guy. And so to see them picked up by, a company that didn't exist in their prime is a bit surprising. But not totally, because we've also been through the Remax run. And I don't know. You
don't have to guard your words. You can say whatever you want.
I feel like I have to be careful with what I'm saying. So I'm surprised because I know what Remax was.
You mean like what they were 15, 20 years ago?
Yes. Yeah. They were the big guys. And so to see a company like Real, which I don't have anything against Real, but to see a company, a cloud-based company, a tech company coming in to buy them is crazy. But then I'm also, I know, I've tried to read about like what's going on.
Yeah.
And I know that part of their claim is tech, which Remax has sucked at tech forever.
Yep.
It's a bit surprising though, because Remax is rolling out a new back-end system to Remax at the same time that now they're announcing an acquisition. And it's weird to me because why spend all that time and money trying to develop a technology, with KV Core, which is back office, just to move to a different company. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with their technology.
So just for clarity for people listening, because they won't even know what you just meant. You're talking about like right now, as we speak, prior to today, Remax has been under the launch of they've been working on and developing and releasing new technology, which now makes zero sense. If you knew this was coming, why were you even doing this? That's what
confuses me a little bit.
Well,
except that I know it just makes me feel like it's not totally about the tech. There's obviously other reasons that it's happening, but that one just surprised me because it's something that's been whispered about and talked about for a while. And it was weird to hear them getting back in technology because Bouge was, such a massive hit for them. So I was a little bit surprised, but yeah, I mean, any technology is better than what they had.
Let me say something to what you just said, because there's like so many different rabbit holes we can go down here, and I have lots to say. Buckle up, everybody. It's going to be a little bit of a long one.
Yeah.
So to your comment about, why would they have been developing technology? Let me give you, albeit my interpretation of how some of this goes down.
Okay.
Having lived out, I think it's pretty accurate interpretation. Almost all levels of executives in the Remax network, both in Canada and the US, worldwide, will have had no idea of this deal right up until 6 a.m. this morning.
Right, okay.
So if you like literally none. So I've had conversations this morning with people who are like upper management level. Now, I'm not talking broker owners. I'm talking people who work in the organization. They had no idea.
Okay,
now,
so then this could still be.
So what happens is this is a board level. Don't forget, publicly traded companies.
Yep.
Board of directors making financial decisions.
Yep.
This is not in consultation
right.
with broker owners and even area directors and CEOs. No. This is another level up. So, which helps us understand
make sense
why, how could Remax Canada be in the development of like this new tech pack? Well, because the right hand's not talking to the left hand.
Right.
And here's the facts. Like a decade ago, Remax's market cap was 1.4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Today, it's 1/10 of that, 139 million.
Wow.
They have been going the wrong direction for many, many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is actually hard and weird for people in Canada to hear, because the number one Remax region in the world in the last years has been the Canadian region. So Remax has still thrived in the face of all this for the last decade. Well, they've been losing market share, losing agents, falling apart all over the world.
Right.
They've still been quite strong in Canada. So then when you talk like this in Canada, people go, you're nuts, you're crazy. Well, that's if you're just tunnel visioned in Canada. If you look at them globally in the US and then in their leadership structure, they've been in complete shambles for years, and they've been losing money fast and hard. So this is and there's a lot, like, this is not my opinion. I mean, if you go back and look at what's been going on in the internet for the last 6 months, I mean, this has been coming. It's been well known. It's been coming. The buyer wasn't known, but it was basically Remax has got to do a deal or they're going to go under.
Mm-hmm.
That was literally what it was. And the reason they're able to get a deal done is because they have, I think worldwide right now, 120,000 agents. And they got a balloon that's been around for a long time. So there's some value there, and there's a buyer that has seen value in it. But that's what it is. So that's why in the inner workings of the network, there's all of this technology, development that's been going on, which now you look at it and go, well, this makes no sense. Well, it's because right hand doesn't talk to the left hand.
Right.
That's why that happens that way.
Okay. That does make sense. That explains a little bit how it could be going through what they went through. It's just, for me, reading it, it was interesting where they lean into this idea of tech so much. And I remember having that same conversation like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, complaining about the tech that needs new tech. We need to update the tech. We need something better for agents, something better for brokerages. So it was surprising when all of a sudden they were working on one and now they're announcing why would they continue going forward with their own technology when they can just lean into the, what is the word that it's being used? Reasonification of Remax is what's being talked about online, because Reason is the platform that Real uses.
Got it.
So that's their AI platform for agents and brokerages.
But you just said it, and now I got to ask the question. Like, what do you mean AI I hate how AI is used
super loose.
Everything now is AI this, AI that. Like, I don't think people, like, there needs to be some accountability around saying that.
I do agree. So in most cases, it's not actually AI. It's just programming.
Exactly.
The way you program something.
It's modern programming.
Exactly. You can use AI to help with the programming. It is really hard actually to build AI into our actual systems. There's just not a whole lot that it can do when it comes to you actually working on a contract and writing a contract. Anything that helps you is just something that's programmed into the software, not an AI model helping you actually create it. So I have not actually been able to look at what their platform looks like. I just know that it's called Reason. They call it an AI powered thing, but it's not. I mean, they're all just software based. They got people who know what they're doing, and they make sure that if A, then B, and they move along with it. So, but I'm curious to see now what that means for Remax, because there's also the big talk of them being separate. It's just this one group now that owns them both, except that Remax holds like 3 chairs at the board and 41% of the company. So does Remax remain? Do they stay what Remax is moving forward?
Well, it's pretty obvious. Like, I mean, Real bought Remax, and Real now has control of the company, and they've got 7 people at the table. Remax has 3.
Yep.
So they've got what they need to make whatever decisions they want. And
which I would think eventually that has to be their direction, because the only reason I can see why they even buy Remax is for the people. The balloon, but it's a database. They are now going to be trying to make sure they get people into their own platforms and their systems.
Absolutely. Like what this is. Now, don't forget, there is a mortgage component in the Remax Enterprise. Moto or yeah. And I mean, I don't want to pretend like I understand the value of that. Obviously, there's significant value there, the lending world. And, so whatever the size of that brokerage service is, there's a component there that I believe Real did not have any lending component. So there's value there, right? Outside of that, this deal from Real's perspective it makes perfect sense. And what they've bought is 120,000 fresh leads for recruiting.
Yep.
It's actually, it's perfect. And make no mistake. I mean, now if, but before, like, Real was free to recruit however, whenever they wanted. But now, internally, and I mean, I know there was literally, there's meetings going on right now within the Real network saying like, they're using all the right language. Like, hey, these are your friends, your partners.
I've definitely read that they're not supposed to be recruiting, but there's no way that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is my interpretation, so people can feel free to shoot holes in it all they want. But it's a well-known fact that the Remax organization is full of a lot of unhappy broker owners that, they've been in the organization for a long time and they want out, and they're certainly not willing to sign new franchise agreements. And it's pretty evident in the last few years, there's been a lot of people who have already been leaving and not wanting to sign new franchise agreements. This is now a path out for those owners. So, Real is smart and Remax is smart in the sense that they go, well, okay, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be an owner here. Well, here's your pathway out. You can convert your office.
Right.
And you can maybe monetize your asset that you can't monetize in the open market because it's not worth anything.
Right.
A Remax franchise is not saleable. Nobody's lining up to buy them, and that's getting harder every day. But this is a way that they can possibly retain as many people as possible within the network. And now it's all under one umbrella. So, is one going to cannibalize the other? Probably. Most definitely. I don't think that it's like, I'm of the opinion, like the intent is not to kill the brand and to operate as one. No. That would be stupid.
Yeah.
However, when you've already got one that's dying and you're staring at mass attrition, this is the plan to make sure that the attrition stays within the family walls.
Right.
And so the attrition that's going to happen no matter what in the Remax family, hopefully from their perspective, the idea would be that it flows into the Real family, and now the money has stayed in-house. And it's a way, because I mean, what's happening right now is there's Remax broker owners all over the place that are saying, they like literally, I know them personally. They've told Remax, I'm not renewing my franchise. It's up in 2 years. I'm done. So just so you know, it's over and nobody wants to buy it and I'm closing shop and whatever. So this is now a way for some of those guys to maybe be able to monetize, because now they can go to their office and say, hey,
if they can sell the story.
You got to be able to sell the story.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then I'm a little bit curious about that as well, because like for us 3 years ago, switching to the Canadian company was a big deal. And,
yeah.
I mean, looking back now, it was an incredible decision and super happy that that was the direction. But how do you think people are feeling about this? Like, I think Remax people were already a little bit perturbed by the fact that it's an American company in the end. Real is not only an American company, but it's a tech company. So like, do you think that that's better? Like, I'm really curious what people in the Remax world think.
Well, I mean, right now, like, okay, so there's definitely, I would say there's mixed feelings, right? Like, you've got your diehards who, like, they will go down in flames with the balloon.
Sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we had some of those people in our brokerage.
Yep.
And they couldn't see our logic. Our logic didn't make sense to them. And that's fine, because in their mind, it was like balloon or die.
Sure.
Right. So there's those.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know that there's a large, you know, at least in my world anyway, there's a contingent of people who don't like the looks of this. They're concerned. I mean, it's really like there's a lot of things here that are, what's the word? There's like an integrity gap.
Sure.
So, I mean, for starters, when you have a brand that has sold itself as the number one brand in the world,
mm-hmm.
like, how do you continue to sell that brand when now it's clearly like you're not the number one brand? Your company was in financial trouble. You've been leaking people left, right, and center. And this is essentially a bailout.
And a bailout by a company that's flat structure, revenue sharing. Like, it's just completely the opposite of what Remax was.
Yeah. So I say, like, for something like now moving forward, I don't know how you buy into the brand, because I go like, what are you buying? Like, I understood it. I mean, I was a dieharder, right? Like, I understood it 10, 15 years ago. Like, you know, why Remax? Well, because we're number one. We sell more than anyone else. We're growing. We're stronger. We're faster, whatever. Like, that's not true anymore. And it's changing every day. So then what are you buying if you're not that? And you can't justify, like, they have the highest fees in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly expensive to be involved with that organization. How do you justify that when you've lost that status that you once had?
Right.
So to me, that's a big problem.
I think though, you made a point earlier, which is that's not always a tangible thought or feeling for people in Canada, because they don't have that same. Because
in Canada, they haven't lost the market share that they've lost in other markets around the globe as much. They have gone backwards, but they haven't gone backwards to the degree they have in the US. Like, in the US, they've been absolutely shit kicked. There's just no other way to put it.
Yep.
Like, they're not even in most markets. They're not even top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're to the point where, like, they're not mentioned in articles.
Right.
In Canada, that's not the case. In Canada, they're still incredibly strong. So that's why this type of conversation is hard. And quite frankly, it's also why when we decided to leave the brand, when we were no longer welcome, because, you know, we saw some of this garbage going on and had feelings about how things were going to go in the future. I'm not trying to say that we saw this coming, but we had every reason to believe that
there was trouble.
The direction of the company could not be trusted. We had zero Canadian leadership left that had any semblance of decision-making ability. And so we were uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And, sorry, I don't mean to digress, but, what was my train of thought? I got pissed off there, and I just
I was going to ask you and you were sort of talking about this, like, do you feel like we dodged a bullet a little bit?
Oh, like, I mean, I don't know if I'd use the word dodged a bullet.
Thinking or saying if we still were Remax.
Oh, like, so imagine we were, like, I mean, if you go back and say, okay, so we're still Remax.
Yeah.
So I know what's gone on in the organization in the last 3 years. We'd be even more angry than we already were.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff that's gone. So since we left, they completely shut down any Western Canadian operation.
Right.
Literally everybody that we knew that we dealt with, most of which we weren't happy with, but some of them we still loved, were fired.
Yep.
They fired the Canadian CEO,
mm-hmm.
who's an absolute, you know what,
mm-hmm.
who I can't stand. He was gone months after we left.
Mm-hmm.
They've replaced him with somebody that people can't stand. They've been through not one, but two CEOs internationally.
Yep.
There's hardly any Canadian operation left. Everything is in Denver. And oh, by the way, now Denver's getting shut down and they'll be operating out of Miami.
Well, they say they're still going to run out of Denver.
So how would we feel today?
Mm.
I would feel just gutted.
Yeah.
you have no control. Everything that happens, branding and decision wise, is made in another country. As we've talked about, the technology offerings have never been good. They've always been garbage. We're still in communication with people. Like, we know this firsthand. Like, there's people that we know in the organization that they bang their head against the wall. So it became a brand that I could no longer sell the value. I didn't believe in it. And the reality is that when we questioned them on these things, they didn't want to be questioned. And that's when they turned their guns on us. Mm-hmm. It wasn't actually even our idea to leave, but we won't rehash that, but we were escorted.
We like to say it that way, that when we decided, but the fact was
it became obvious that we couldn't stay when we started to ask questions and they didn't like people asking questions. But so am I glad? Your question was,
I was mostly curious. One, do you feel like we dodged it a little bit because we don't have to go through it?
Totally dodged the bullet. I can't imagine living that. Yeah.
That was the other part, is what is that conversation looking like now? Because even for us, we had sold the balloon forever. Now, if you're still in that world, how are you selling the balloon now? You
mean if you're an owner?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what you say or how you sell it, because like I said, the value proposition, the offering that it once was, it isn't anymore. And, now that's really can't be questioned. Yeah. Like, you are not number one. You don't have world dominance. No. Now, I mean, what do you still have? You got a balloon that's recognized. Everyone knows what it is. And so if you love the balloon, you love the balloon. But
even that, though, like in the last 6 months, they changed it. Like, it's just been going through the ringer.
Yeah, they did. So I am incredibly grateful that we are where we are. Mm-hmm. I love the Royal LePage brand, the team of people that we have both locally and just in our country, who are our leaders, who support us.
Country too.
Yeah. Who make, decisions for our organization that make sense for our organization because they're only thinking about our Canadian marketplace. Nothing's perfect. Like, I would never sit here and say, oh my goodness, ever since we made the change, it just, everything's flawed. Like, sure. there are things that frustrate me that I'd like to change, but nothing like what we ever experienced. Yeah. And, nothing's ever perfect, but man, am I glad we are where we are. And I think, moving forward, this should give, those of us who were a part of that story and walked that out, whether you stuck it out with us 3 years ago or whether you were on the other side of the conversation. Mm-hmm. I just think this makes our decision making look like it made a lot of sense.
Yep, I agree.
And I don't think it's fair. I would never, I would never say something like, I told you so or whatever. But we were questioned back then a lot.
Yep.
And there were some really hurtful, awful things said of Ray and I. Mm-hmm. And we kept our head down. We never responded to it, even though I wanted to. I didn't feel value in the moment because the people that we would have been responding to would not have had ears to listen to what we were going to say. But each day that goes by, I feel more vindicated about the decisions that we made. I feel better. And, it's days like today that, make me feel really good about the tough decisions that we made. And, this morning my phone was, lit up pretty good. Some of which are agents who left us years ago, who are questioning some things today.
Well, and I was going to ask you that, like, what do you think agents are, what is that thing that's going through their head right now? Because again, I go back to this idea that there's supposed to be two separate companies, but there's no way that happens with only 30% of the board. Like, the decision-making is going to go Real's way as time goes down. So like, from an agent perspective, if you're a Remax agent, like, do you think fees are going to be a thing that change? Are they going to try and move Remax into that revenue sharing sort of model?
I have no idea. Anyone who tries to say they know is just making it up.
Sure.
If I were to give an answer right now, it would literally just be me making it up.
Do you think Remax survives as just a brick and mortar continuing in the fee structure that they're in? even with Real buying them?
I think for Remax. So first of all, I think the Remax agent count is going to drop drastically no matter what.
Yep.
There's going to be in the next like 12 to 24 months, there's going to be a number of Remax people who preemptively move to Real. And then there's going to be a number of people who just say, I'm out.
Right.
And they go to Royal LePage or, whatever other competitor that meets their needs in their marketplace.
Yep.
I don't see how the Remax fee system continues to work moving forward. Like they spend so much money.
That's what I was going to ask
on marketing. Well, they get their money from their agents, right? Like, don't forget, like so the fees
I remember all the money.
Like, there's the international ad fund, there's the regional ad funds, there's the very high fees that they charge to their, broker owners, that the owners pull from their agents. So there's a lot of money that feeds that beast. But as agent count has dropped and will continue to drop, that is going to impact their marketing budgets. And I don't know, maybe there's going to be a complete reorganization of the way they work. I mean, now that what happens in moments like this, Real bought an opportunity, right? They see 120,000 bodies and they go, okay, what can we do with this? And it's entirely possible that the opportunity that Real sees, whatever they're thinking of in their brain in terms of their idea, they might have factored in a loss of 40 to 50,000 agents.
Right.
They might, so it might yesterday that would have been unacceptable and not possible. So Remax could not have gone through a massive reorganization where they said, okay, we're eliminating, as an example, 25% of our least productive brokerages. We are punting X amount of people out of the organization. We're dropping fees. We're changing the way we operate, and we're reset for the way moving forward. Right. They wouldn't have had the stomach to be able to do that because they're a publicly traded company that's already lost tremendous value in their stock.
Yep.
And they wouldn't have been able to endure something like that. Like that's an Elon Musk move, right? When he bought Twitter,
it
was his money. He goes and buying Twitter, fires half the staff, takes it through an absolute, mayhem. But look at it on the other side. It's thriving now. But now that Remax has been acquired by someone else, that might be part of their idea. They might be gearing up for a massive reorganization, which who knows, maybe 12 to 24 months from now, it looks completely different. Maybe they've lost a bunch of agents, but losing a bunch of agents might not be bad from Real's perspective, because what Real ends up with at the end, let's just say they end up with, they go, they retain 70 to 80,000 of those people, but now they've got them in their network and it's made them that much more profitable. And they've done what they want to do with the balloon. That could be great for them.
Do you know, is Real, are they big into marketing like Remax is?
No, nobody
benches and all
no. Nobody spends it. No.
Will does that shift, do you think?
I don't know.
Who's the one that you would think that the people determining who's spending that money is going to be more.
Well, the people that spend that money are the brokers and agents, right? That's all of their money.
They're not the ones spending it. They're the one paying for it.
Well, the board of directors makes the decisions, right? And now the board of directors is 7 out of 10.
And they're
Real.
Yeah. Interesting.
It is, but here, I'll tell you something. I don't profess to be a market guru, but I saw this and I thought this was a really interesting analysis. So as of an hour ago, the stock price that was paid, I think was about $13.80.
If you wanted to get paid out. Yeah. Somewhere around
it was $13.80. So as of about an hour ago, typically when something like this happens, the market responds, right? And the market tells you whether or not it was a good deal. At the time I viewed it an hour ago, both stocks had responded negatively, which was really interesting. So the Remax stock was hanging around $10, well below the 1380 that was paid, but the real stock hadn't ballooned up.
Huh.
So,
maybe they're just, maybe people are waiting to buy the new one because aren't they the real Remax group? It's got its own,
I don't know. I just know that, so that here, Remax, here you go. It's trading at $9.94 right now. And it looks like it's down today.
Right.
So again, I don't want to be, I'm certainly not a, whatever. I'm not a stock guru, but I know enough to know that, you know, when M&A stuff happens,
yeah,
you can, an indication of how the market feels about it is what the stock price does, right? People either start jumping off or jumping on, and neither stock price has jumped up, which is very, very interesting. So Remax was flat, then dipped, then kind of dipped a little bit more. And it's the
real go the same way. There's REAX. Do you know
it's down?
Oh, dang.
It's down 5%. See, so you got it. Like they took on a lot of debt, right? Yeah. So what's happened now is you've paid $13.80 a share for shares that are currently trading at $10. Mm-hmm. So you've now maybe, according to the market, overpaid by 30%. And they, in the $880 million, $850 million deal, there was like $550 million of debt that was assumed. Mm-hmm. So you just took on a truckload of debt. And so, yeah, like right now, I mean, you know, what was this? So on Friday, real stock closed at $12.74.
Wow.
And then closed today, it's at $11.66. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Do you know if there were other buyers, like Remax was looking at other buyers? The only reason I ask is because I read
about KW. Did you read anything about KW?
I read where they were saying that the reason that they ended up choosing Real to be their buyers was the tech. Again, I go to the tech because that's where my brain goes. But I thought that was interesting because I thought that was either a lie or this reason is just next level. Like it didn't make any sense.
Well, you gotta, okay. So, you know, I can, in these scenarios, like, hey, when we made the change we made, people accused us of just, well, you guys are just positioning this. And of course you're only going to say the positive and blah, 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 blah. So, you know, no one's ever going to, you know, doubters can doubt everything.
Yeah.
Right. And so for fear of sounding like a hypocrite, because I understand that, you know, when we made a change, we could have been accused of the same thing. Now, as it turns out, we were telling the truth and, you know, judge us by the results of the last 3 years. Yep. But these guys will just say whatever they need to say in order to position it. Like one of the things that I don't know how they're going to reconcile this in their groups. Like, but if you were at any of their conventions in the last year or two, like it's a main point of their conventions to talk about the Reals and the EXPs of the world. And they basically bash the model. Mm-hmm. It's just a huge part of what they do. So like, I don't know how what do you do with that? Like you've been bashing it and now you're going to sell it. So that's a big thing to overcome. I don't know if people just look past that or what, but that was huge in the Remax world. Was bashing the EXPs and the Reals and all the other ones.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
fun times. Yeah. Do you have anything else there?
Oh, I mean, there's lots here. It's so.
What did you have over here? You had notes on it?
Oh, I got everything. I got notes. I was reading all about it. I mean, obviously I was quite interested. I got my phone blowing up this morning. So I started reading.
Who blew up your phone?
Oh, you and Ray. And
okay. I thought, okay.
No, I don't
got it.
Well, thankfully agents don't reach out to me for that. The one thing that I had written down though was like, we have a lot of people that we know still in that network.
Yeah.
So what would you say to people like that? I mean, we obviously tried to sell us 3 years ago, you know, Little Oak specifically to people. So what do you think now for people that are, the people have stuck it through with Remax, and now you are still Remax, but you're the real Remax group. It doesn't feel the same.
So I've been in touch with some of those people this morning. And my message would be, I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound insincere in saying this, but, we want to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is maybe not what you signed up for or what you thought you signed up for. We certainly empathize and understand, because we had a lot of experiences with Remax years ago where we said, hey, this isn't what we signed up for.
Yeah.
Like, we felt like we were told one thing and delivered another thing many, many, many times.
Yeah.
And so watching this now from the outside, I can't help but chuckle and just go, well, this is what they do.
Exactly what
they make decisions for shareholders. It doesn't matter. The broker owner and the agent, they could not give a shit about them. It's just all shareholder driven. So I feel bad for people that are rocked by this, if you're a person like, hey, if you're hearing this and you're one of our old little lokers and you miss us, we miss you too. And we want to talk. And, if this isn't the right fit for you moving forward, then maybe a life at Little Oak is.
Mm-hmm.
We've still got our same amazing people, and we're proud of our brand, our longevity, everything that we do through the incredible people that we have. We're proud of it. And we're proud of the Royal LePage brand, the Canadian persona that we have, and the fact that, we no longer have to deal with this type of disruption.
It is actually a breath of fresh air, and has been for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been in touch with a few people this morning, and, there will be some people that, whatever, they'll die with the balloon in their grave. Right. And, I totally get it. But if that's not you, then, we want to hear from you. We want to chat. Yeah.
Sweet.
Anything else?
I think we touched on all this stuff.
We touched on all of it. You had a lot of notes over there.
Buddy, I went.
I was thinking that you were going to be like grilling me for.
I have a lot, but some of them I also read like, they feel a little bit. I don't want to be
like what? Give me an example of one. We don't have to get into it. Just give me one that you think is offside or not good.
All right. When we left Remax,
I'm pulling it out of you. That's amazing.
When we left Remax, people thought we were crazy to leave such a big name. Now that they've been acquired for $880 million by the new kid on the block, like Real, do you think the era of the traditional global franchise is officially dead?
The era of the global franchise is officially dead? No. I think that this is just this is just like the wealth reorganization at the top. Like, is that asking, do I think that the model, like the franchisee model, is dead? You think that's what it's meaning to ask?
Well, I think it's mostly comparing. Well, no, because Real's global, right?
Real's not really global. They're just in the US.
Well, who else is global besides Remax?
Very few. Very few.
Does that concept of a brand being global?
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't thinking of it that way. Is it? Well, yeah, sure. It's very hard to compete globally with that.
Too many markets.
Yeah. So maybe from that perspective, do I think there's an end in sight? Yes. Yeah. Too hard to compete globally with that model moving forward, because each market is uniquely different.
Yeah.
And how can you be all things to everyone in all your markets? You just can't.
Okay. I got one good one for you to end on.
Okay.
Real Brokerage is buying Remax for their agents and their data. This is my own personal opinion. I think that's why they're buying it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for the office buildings. How has Royal LePage allowed us to keep the local touch that a cloud-based company like Real might miss?
Oh, interesting. So one of the things that you that we value and that you give up. And like, if you walk away, if we just said, okay, blow up the whole industry and everybody's cloud. I hate the word cloud-based, but like it's such garbage, but let's just say we're all cloud-based now. End it all, right? You lose human infrastructure. And all you've got to do is listen to the agents. Like, okay, so I was on the phone with a real agent this morning who's still there. First thing out of their mouth, oh, I miss the people. I miss the manager. I miss, just it's a listing of the human infrastructure that you have within one model that you don't have in another model. Now, make no mistake, this is what these models have actually done. Like, they say they're anti-bricks and mortar. They say that, they're cloud-based or whatever. Well, let's just observe what actually has gone on rather than what's coming out of their mouth. Here's what happens. They are successful in recruiting, let's call them super agents, highly successful agents who are influential in their marketplaces. These agents become the new owners. Okay. Like they're like me. I'm not saying that I'm a super agent, but you know what I'm saying? They're the new me. They are now running real estate brokerages. What do we see them all do? What's the first thing they do? Holy crap. They go and get bricks and mortar. That's literally the first thing they do. Whether you're talking EXP, Real, or anyone other, all of these super teams, they go and get an office, even though they're supposed to be an anti-physical office thing. And then they grow their teams, their offices, 20, 30, 40, 50 realtors. And what are they doing? They're trading value for fees. They're getting money from these agents. Now, it looks different, right? Because they use words like revenue share and they tie it to this and you cap out. But at the end of the day, these highly influential, successful realtors have become broker owners. They become broker owners without franchise agreements, without brands, right? So a person could look at it and say, well, that's a better model, but to be successful, they have admitted something to their actions. You need human infrastructure. You have to. If you don't have any human infrastructure, you have nothing. So those that are thriving in that model, they've just rebuilt another brokerage. To the point where they have physical space, they've got administrators, some of them even have their own managers, and they're just providing the same kind of support, branded differently, it looks different, and it's a brokerage. It's a brokerage without the franchise agreement stuffed in between. However, the fees to the franchisor are still baked in. Make no mistake, the franchisor, being Real or EXP, whichever one you want to talk about, they get their money through their agents as they make sales, which is exactly how Remax or Royal LePage gets their money from agents. So they've just removed and renamed the broker owner. And now these new super agents have just become owners and gone and tied their names to leases or spaces, and they're running their own offices. If it was truly cloud-based, and it was truly the world's newest thing or whatever, then we would not see these physical spaces. But our market is loaded with these spaces, these new offices that resemble other real estate offices, ironically enough. And guess what? They have conveyancers, and they have people that answer the phone, and they have managers, because you need human infrastructure. So in answer to your question, do I think the model is dead? No, it's just been renamed and played with. Human beings, we do not want to work in isolation. We want to be with people. We are social primates. Literally, we are better with one another. So we cannot create models where we're isolated. We went through years of isolation and that didn't go well. And now we're still recovering from that. So do I think the model's dead? No. Is it going to look different? Sure, absolutely. And I think that, there are, like in any industry, there are, brands that lose value for whatever reason, right? Their value proposition weakens, changes, they don't stay modern, whatever. And so I think that's what we're observing with Remax right now. Remax's value proposition, it started to go south a long time ago, as evidenced by the last decade.
Yeah.
And their agent count and their drop in production and their 90% drop in market cap. So this has been going on for a long time. And this is a competitor in the marketplace taking advantage of an opportunity. And to your point, buying what the true value is. The value is the people and the data, right?
Yep.
So moving forward, are we going to continue to see real estate agents working in offices in their communities?
I guess we are.
Yeah, because we're already seeing it. Because the newest models, the ones that are the quote unquote disruptors, the EXPs and the reals, what's the first thing they do when they bring a new super agent? They go and get an office space.
Yeah, it is true.
So it's amazing. As I've watched this, I've watched people talk about it. It's funny how they've, and I got no hate for real or EXP or anything, but like to hear them say AI brokerage, cloud-based, it's like, you guys have got offices. You got offices, you got managers, you got conveyancers. It's just repackaged. And it's different. I'm not saying it's not different. And I mean, again, the incredibly high advertising fees that are baked into the Remax platform, I'm not sure that that's sustainable over time.
They just put all their branding onto an IndyCar.
I know. I saw that.
There's so many things that I
saw that.
What is happening?
Well, we'll find out in time. But what I want to end, if I've said this already, but the way I should end is, we're so happy we are where we are.
Yes.
We believe wholeheartedly in our people and our organization and the brand we're aligned with and the people at Royal LePage Canada. And, it's days like today that, it puts the last 3 years in perspective, but days like today remind us all as to, why we made the decision we made, how grateful we are to be where we are, how thankful we are for all of our agents who stuck with us through that time.
Sure, yeah.
And then of course we've picked up a lot of great agents since that time, but to all of our friends out there who are maybe still in the Remax world, who, decided to stick it with them over the last few years, if they're questioning the way forward, then we want to have those conversations, because there's, it's never too late to have a conversation like that. No. And the future is bright at Little Oak with Royal LePage.
I agree.
So there we go. We'll leave it at that.
Sweet.
Thanks, my friend.
We'll send some Monday.
This coming Monday. Win the week.
Yep.
Win the month. Win the year. But start with win the week. Monday mornings. We'll get the time out.
Time to be announced. Email out.
Yeah. Email out. There we go.
Perfect.
See ya.
Thanks.
Yep.